There is a peculiar kind of suffering that most people will never understand. And if you have experienced it, you know exactly what I am talking about. It is the suffering of seeing. Not the ordinary kind of seeing that everyone does with their eyes, but the deeper seeing, the kind that penetrates beneath the surface of things and reveals what is actually happening behind the curtain of consensus reality. And once you develop this kind of vision, once your eyes are open to what others cannot or will not see, you enter a territory that is both profoundly liberating and unexpectedly dangerous. Let me be clear about what I mean by danger here. I am not talking about physical danger, though that can certainly arise in certain circumstances. I am talking about something far more subtle and insidious. I am talking about the danger to your relationships, to your sense of belonging, to your ability to function in a world that operates on shared illusions. I am talking about the danger of becoming a stranger in your own life, of watching your former world crumble as you stand there unable to unsee what you have seen. And if this resonates with you, if you have felt this peculiar isolation that comes from seeing too much, too clearly, then what I am about to share may help you understand what is happening to you. Because seeing what others don't is not a gift that comes without cost. It is more like a curse disguised as a blessing, or perhaps a blessing disguised as a curse. The curse is that you can no longer participate in the comfortable lies that hold society together. The blessing is that you can no longer be manipulated by those same lies. But make no mistake, there is a price to pay for this clarity of vision. Before we go further, if what I am saying is touching something true inside you, if you recognize this experience in yourself or someone you know, leave your like on this video. Subscribe to the channel for more explorations like this. And in the comments, tell me, what have you seen that others cannot see? What truth has isolated you from those around you? Share your experience. Now let us dive deeper into this dangerous territory. The first danger of seeing what others don't is the most obvious one, yet also the most underestimated. It is the danger of being seen as the problem. You see, when you can see through the illusions that bind a group together, when you can perceive the unspoken dynamics, the hidden agendas, the unconscious patterns that everyone else is acting out blindly, you become a threat. Not because you want to be a threat, not because you are trying to disrupt anything, but simply because your presence, your very existence as someone who sees, challenges the foundation of the collective trance. Think about it this way. Imagine a group of people who have all agreed, without ever explicitly discussing it, to pretend that the emperor is wearing magnificent clothes. They have built an entire social structure around this pretense. Their relationships depend on it. Their identities are invested in it. Their sense of security requires that everyone maintains the illusion. And then you walk into the room, and you can see that the emperor is naked. You are not trying to see it. You are not looking for it. You simply cannot not see it because your eyes have been opened. Now here is where the danger begins. If you speak what you see, if you simply state the obvious truth that everyone else is desperately avoiding, you will not be thanked for your honesty. You will not be celebrated for your clarity. Instead, you will be attacked, dismissed, pathologized, excluded. Because the group does not want the truth. The group wants the illusion maintained, and anyone who threatens that illusion becomes the enemy, the troublemaker, the crazy one, the negative one, the one who is too sensitive or too critical or too intense. This is the terrible paradox of seeing. The clearer your vision, the more you will be seen as the one with distorted perception. The more accurately you perceive reality, the more you will be labeled as delusional. Because consensus reality is not based on truth. It is based on agreement. And if you break the agreement, if you refuse to participate in the shared hallucination, you become dangerous to the entire system. I have watched this happen countless times. Someone develops the capacity to see what is really going on in their family system, and suddenly they are the problem child, the black sheep, the one who is too dramatic or making things up. Someone begins to see through the facade at their workplace, recognizing the dysfunction and dishonesty that everyone else is pretending not to notice. And suddenly they are the difficult employee, the one who is not a team player, the one who needs to adjust their attitude. Someone wakes up to the manipulations in their relationship, seeing clearly the patterns of control and gaslighting. And suddenly they are the unstable one, the overly sensitive one, the one who is imagining things. This is not accidental. This is how systems protect themselves from awareness. When the truth threatens to emerge, the system does not address the truth. It attacks the truth teller. It makes the seer into the problem so that the system can remain unconscious. And if you are someone who sees, you will experience this again and again until you understand what is happening. You will be blamed for what you perceive. You will be punished for your clarity. You will be made to feel crazy for being sane. The second danger of seeing what others don't is the danger of profound loneliness. Not the ordinary loneliness of being physically alone, but the existential loneliness of being surrounded by people who live in a completely different reality than you do. When you can see what others cannot see, you lose the ability to connect in the ways you used to. The conversations that once seemed normal now feel absurd. The concerns that once seemed important now appear trivial. The dramas that once engaged you now look like elaborate distractions from what actually matters. And this creates a chasm between you and almost everyone around you. You are speaking a different language. You are operating from a different level of awareness. You are perceiving dimensions of reality that others do not even know exist. And there is no way to bridge this gap through explanation or education or trying harder to communicate. Because you are not simply talking about different topics. You are literally living in different worlds, perceiving different realities. This loneliness is compounded by the fact that you cannot simply choose to go back to not seeing. Once your eyes are opened, they stay open. Once you have perceived the deeper patterns, the hidden dynamics, the unconscious motivations, you cannot unknow what you know. You cannot unpeel the layers of perception and return to a simpler, more innocent way of being. The veil has been lifted permanently, and with it goes your ability to participate in the comfortable illusions that provide most people with a sense of connection and community. So you find yourself in this strange position. You are surrounded by people, perhaps even people you love, but you are fundamentally alone because no one can see what you see. No one can understand what you are talking about. No one can meet you in the place where you actually live. And this is a special kind of torture, to be invisible while completely visible, to be misunderstood while speaking clearly, to be isolated while standing in a crowd. The third danger is perhaps the most insidious because it operates so subtly. It is the danger of beginning to doubt your own perception. When everyone around you sees reality one way and you alone see it differently, when the entire world is telling you that what you perceive is wrong or exaggerated or imaginary, it becomes increasingly difficult to trust your own eyes. You start to question yourself. Maybe I am seeing things that are not there. Maybe I am being too critical. Maybe I am the problem after all. Maybe everyone else is right and I am the one who is distorted. This is called gaslighting when it is done deliberately, but it can happen even without anyone intending it. The collective reality is so powerful, the consensus so strong, that to stand against it requires enormous strength and clarity. And over time, the constant invalidation of your perception, the constant message that what you see is not real, can begin to erode your confidence in your own awareness. You begin to second-guess yourself. You begin to minimize what you perceive. You begin to wonder if perhaps you are the crazy one after all. This is especially dangerous because your perception, your ability to see what others don't, is likely your greatest gift. It is your connection to truth, to reality beyond the collective trance. And when you begin to doubt it, when you begin to invalidate your own seeing, you disconnect from your deepest source of wisdom and guidance. You betray yourself in an attempt to fit back into the group, to regain belonging, to stop being the problem. But this betrayal of your own perception comes at a terrible cost. It is a kind of spiritual suicide, a killing of the very thing that makes you who you are. The fourth danger is the danger of becoming bitter. When you can see the dysfunction, the manipulation, the unconsciousness all around you, and when you are repeatedly punished for seeing it, attacked for naming it, excluded for refusing to participate in it, a certain hardness can develop, a cynicism, a bitterness toward humanity and its persistent blindness. You start to see people as hopelessly asleep, as willfully ignorant, as choosing comfort over truth. And this bitterness, while understandable, is its own kind of blindness. Because the truth is that most people are not choosing to be unconscious. They are simply doing the best they can with the awareness they have. They are operating from their own wounding, their own fear, their own conditioning. They are not villains in some moral drama. They are suffering beings who have not yet developed the capacity to see what you see. And if you forget this, if you allow your clarity to curdle into contempt, you lose something essential. You lose compassion. You lose humility. You lose the recognition that you too were once asleep, that you too participated in the very unconsciousness you now see so clearly. This bitterness is a trap that many people who develop the capacity to see fall into. They become righteous in their seeing, superior in their awareness, judgmental toward those who remain blind. And ironically, this righteousness is its own form of blindness. It is a way of avoiding the harder truth, which is that seeing what others don't does not make you better than them. It makes you responsible. Responsible for using your clarity wisely, compassionately, with humility and care. The fifth danger is the danger of premature articulation. When you begin to see clearly, there is often an intense urge to speak what you see, to share your insights, to wake others up. This urge is understandable. You have discovered something true and important, and you naturally want to communicate it. But here is the danger. If you speak too soon, before you have fully integrated what you see, before you have developed the language and the wisdom to communicate it skillfully, you will create more problems than you solve. You will be misunderstood. Your words will be distorted. You will trigger defensive reactions in others that actually push them deeper into unconsciousness rather than inviting them toward awareness. You will burn bridges, damage relationships, isolate yourself unnecessarily, not because what you are seeing is wrong, but because you have not yet learned how to speak it in a way that others can hear. This is why the wise ones, the true seers, often remain silent for long periods. They are not being cowardly or withholding. They are waiting until they have fully digested what they see, waiting until they have found the right words, the right timing, the right context, waiting until they can speak their truth in a way that is loving rather than attacking, inviting rather than imposing, offering rather than demanding. The sixth danger is the danger of isolation becoming identity. When you have been excluded so many times for seeing what others don't, when you have been made into the outsider, the different one, the one who does not fit, there is a temptation to make this isolation into your identity, to become the perpetual outsider, the one who is always apart, always different, always alone. And while there may be periods where genuine solitude is necessary for integration and development, there is a difference between healthy solitude and defensive isolation. When isolation becomes identity, you stop looking for connection altogether. You convince yourself that you are too different, too aware, too evolved to connect with ordinary humans. You build walls around yourself and call it protection. You avoid vulnerability and call it wisdom. You push others away preemptively and tell yourself you are just being realistic about human nature. But this is not wisdom. This is wounding pretending to be enlightenment. The truth is that even those who see what others don't still need connection. They need to find their people, their tribe, the others who can see what they see. They need to remain open to the possibility of genuine meeting, even if it is rare. They need to resist the temptation to completely withdraw from humanity just because humanity has rejected their seeing. Because if you make isolation your identity, you cut yourself off from the very thing that makes consciousness meaningful, which is the possibility of sharing it, of meeting another consciousness in genuine recognition. So what do you do with this dangerous gift of seeing what others don't? How do you navigate this territory without losing yourself in bitterness or isolation or self-doubt? Let me offer some guidance, not as someone who has all the answers, but as someone who has walked this path and learned a few things along the way. First, you must learn to trust your perception while remaining humble about your interpretations. There is a difference between what you see and what you think it means. You can trust that you are perceiving something real, something that others are missing, without being absolutely certain about what it means or what should be done about it. Hold your seeing lightly. Be confident in your perception but flexible in your interpretations. Second, you must find others who see. They are out there. They are rare, but they exist. And when you find them, When you encounter another consciousness that can meet yours, that can see what you see, protect that connection. Nurture it, because these connections are what will sustain you through the inevitable periods of isolation and misunderstanding. You do not need many of these connections. Even 1 or 2 genuine meetings with another seer can provide enough sustenance to continue. Third, you must develop compassion for those who do not see. Not pity, not condescension, but genuine compassion. Remember that you too were once blind to what you now see clearly. Remember that seeing is not a moral achievement but a developmental capacity that unfolds in its own time. Remember that those who attack you for your seeing are usually just protecting themselves from truths they are not yet ready to face. This compassion will protect you from bitterness and keep your heart open. Fourth, you must learn when to speak and when to remain silent. Not every truth needs to be spoken. Not every instance of unconsciousness needs to be pointed out. Not every person is ready to hear what you see. Develop discernment. Learn to read the field. Speak your truth when it will serve, when it can be heard, when the timing is right, and remain silent when speaking would only create more resistance, more defense, more unconsciousness. Fifth, you must use your seeing in service of something larger than your own vindication or righteousness. Your ability to see what others don't is not about being right or proving others wrong. It is about serving truth, serving consciousness, serving the evolution of awareness. Ask yourself, how can I use what I see to help? How can my clarity serve? How can my perception contribute to the awakening of consciousness rather than just confirming my own separateness? And finally, you must remember that the danger of seeing what others don't is also its gift. Yes, it isolates you. Yes, it makes life harder in many ways. Yes, it costs you relationships and belonging and the comfort of the collective trance. But it also gives you something precious. It gives you truth. It gives you reality. It gives you the possibility of living authentically rather than sleepwalking through a scripted life. It gives you the opportunity to become truly conscious in a world that is largely asleep. The danger of seeing what others don't is real. It will test you. It will challenge you. It will ask you to stand alone when standing alone feels unbearable. It will require you to trust yourself when everyone else is telling you that you are wrong. It will demand that you remain open-hearted when everything in you wants to shut down and protect yourself. But this is the path of those who see. This is the price of clarity. This is the cost of waking up. And despite all the dangers, despite all the difficulties, I would not trade this seeing for anything. Because once you have seen what is real, once you have perceived what lies beneath the surface, once you have opened your eyes to the truth beyond the consensus trance, you cannot go back. And you would not want to. Because living in truth, even when it is dangerous, is far preferable to living in comfortable illusion. Being isolated in reality is far preferable to being connected through shared delusion. Standing alone in clarity is far preferable to belonging through blindness. So if you are someone who sees what others don't, know this: you are not crazy. You are not the problem. You are not too sensitive or too critical or too intense. You are simply awake in a world that is largely asleep. And yes, that is dangerous, but it is also necessary. Because the world needs those who can see. It needs those who refuse to participate in the collective trance. It needs those who are willing to pay the price of clarity. You are one of those people, and that matters more than you know.